Welcome back to WBB, and today we've got 3 new bases to share with you guys, starting off with this first one showing on the screen. Now this base here, utilizing these dead spaces to try to mess up the pathing for lots of different strategies, in addition to that invis tower near the town hall, also trying to push troops away from that very important building. And remember, as always, if you guys want to give these bases a try for yourself, the links are down in the description below. Give them a try. If you do, let us know how they do in the comments below. With that, let's jump into a replay. And here we go. The replay for this base is going to be a Yeti smash attack log launcher straight into the town hall, and then we're going to see these Yetis spread out across the top right side of the base. That log launcher able to get that invis tower triggered nice and early, so that's not going to be a factor for the pathing in this case. We do have the king. We got some golems in the mix as well, trying to do some tanking here. The enemy king finally going down. We got some P.E.K.K.A.s and another Yeti out of the log launcher. Now we got everything pushing in towards the town hall. We do still have a few Yetis on the top and bottom sides, continuing to funnel these outside buildings. Earthquakes in the core of the base. Quad quake to open all that up, push everything through. We don't see a lot of quad quake. Kind of cool seeing it here. It does work out pretty well to give access to everything in the middle of the base, but these ice golems on defense, and remember to keep in mind the troops that are being used on defense on these bases, the ice golems slowing things down here, but finally the troops are able to continue pushing. However, the troops on the outside edge are not doing so well. They went down pretty early. The king's earthquake boots are going to open things up in the core of the base, and it looks like, yeah, the barbarian puppet as well, which is another unusual thing here, but the barbarian's going to move over to the top side with the king, help get that scatter shot taken care of. However, this army is fizzling out, and pretty much everything at this point is gone. The king's going to be able to get a few more buildings on the top side of the base. The queen's going down, and she is eliminated now, so it's all down to the barbarian king, and it's far too much base for him to get through. This is going to be a defense. Let's move on to the next base. And here we go with base number 2, another box base here with that invis in the core, and we do have a stacked core as well. We got the invis and the rage combo, so these defenses are going to go invisible, and then their damage is going to get boosted significantly, and that makes for a very difficult core to take care of. And then we do also have the rest of the defenses spread out nicely around the outside of the base. So let's jump into a replay and see how it holds up. And here we go. This is going to be a spirit walk into a root riders match, which has been a very powerful attack strategy. So we're going to see how well this base holds up against this. The royal champion making her way in from that right corner of the base, going to be able to work in that minion prince there, going to cause a little bit of trouble, but the next invis comes in perfectly. RC working her way through the multi-archer tower. He does have the recall to pull her back out. 2 more invis to use, though. He's going to have a really hard time keeping that fox alive. And just as I start to say that, the fox does go down, so the invis need to be back to back. I don't know why he dropped it behind the RC. He missed her completely with that. Drops in the recall, but the RC was already dead, so he wastes the recall spell. A little bit of panic there from the attacker, and this is going to be a little bit of a rough start, but he still has a lot to work with, and he drops the siege barracks straight into the expo, so he's going to get a little bit less help out of that than he would have otherwise. Ice golems on defense yet again. We have the 2 ice golems so far. I'm not sure what else came out with that, or if anything else has been pulled yet. I'd imagine the RC would have taken care of it, but usually 2 balloons are what you're going to want to pair up with those ice golems. But here we go. We got the root riders and the Valkyries coming in from the right side of the base. We got the king, the queen, the warden. Still lots of army to go, so this still has a chance to work its way through despite a couple of early hiccups in this attack. Root riders making their way in slowly but surely. He's going to use the overgrowth to try to push the the Valkyries back to the root riders, but it has the opposite effect. It's going to push the Valkyries and the barbarian king off to the far left. The root riders with the rage, with the warden's ability, trying to make their way through the core of the base. The invis wears off, but that rage is still in effect. We got double raged up scatter shots, the raged up multi inferno tower. The fire spitters are there. They're not doing anything at this point, but they did do a bit of damage as the troops were headed in. Looks like the root riders are going to be able to take care of the core of the base. We still have the king on the far left, but all the Valkyries have gone down. I'm actually curious how he managed to skip. Oh, is the overgrowth. That's how he managed to skip that multi. Barbarian King's already used his ability, so he's going to be going down here shortly. But he doesn't have the Phoenix, so he won't be coming back once he goes down. And there we go. The king is finished. The root riders are still somehow going. I think thanks to these healers, they're still making their way through the back end of the base with only the archer queen now to help support and do cleanup behind him. He did drop that other overgrowth on the right side of the base. I'm not sure if that was really the best choice over there, but it does cover up the multi-inferno tower and the ricochet cannon for a bit, although there was nothing over there, so it doesn't really help him out any. But slowly but surely, this army is starting to fizzle. We're going to speed it up, and this is going to be a defense for base number 2. let's take a look at the third and final base for this video. And here we go, the third and final base for this video. We do have a very difficult to funnel outside edge with all these buildings on the outside with lots of traps and obstacles to get through. And then we have a difficult to navigate core of the base, especially for those defense targeting troops. As you can see, we got an isolated monolith in the core, so that's going to be very difficult for the troops to get to quickly, and that's going to have an opportunity to do a lot of damage. With that, let's jump into the final replay. And this final replay is going to be another Spirit Walk into Root Riders. Again, a very popular, very strong strategy in the current meta, even after the update. So we're going to see how this goes. The Invis are coming down. It's actually not a Spirit Walk. It's going to be an RC charge because there's no Spirit Fox. So the Invis are coming in back to back, but again, still a strong strategy. The Royal Champion going to get lots of value here. The boots will finish off the Ricochet Cannon as she continues to move off to the left, and there we go. We got a log launcher from the bottom side of the base now with a Grand Warden coming in to help support that as well. And the Royal Champion is just going to continue doing her thing on the left side. He's going to let her go. He does not have a recall to bring her back, so she's going to get what she gets, and that'll be it. We got some Root Riders on the bottom side of the base, a couple of Valkyries. We got Ice Golems coming in as well. A little bit of an awkward start, but everything should start coming together here towards the middle of the base. We got more Root Riders and Valkyries on the right side. Trying to pull this Warden out. We got the Barbarian King moving in. Actually, the Warden is following an Electro Titan that's made its way into the base. And here we go, everything pushing right into the core. He's actually able to push straight into the monolith because of the way he entered the base. I feel like a lot of people are going to go in from the top side of the base, but in this case, he is able to get that monolith down with pretty much no issues, despite the way the design is set up. But I feel like he's going to have a lot of issues now because he's leaving a lot of stuff on the back end of the base because of that entry. So there's a little bit of give and take. He also had a fireball there, which I guess was able to get a few buildings out of the way. King's Earthquake boots popping off. Here we go. Town Hall dropping. Let's see how much of this back end he's actually able to get through now that he's invested everything in getting that bottom side of the base left. But if you remember, this top side is stacked. We got the Tesla farm there. We got lots of traps there. He's already hit that tornado trap. He's hit the Giga Bomb that's taken out the Barbarian King. Now it's just up to the Root Riders, and they're going to struggle to get through the rest of this. And as you can see, it fizzles out, and this is a defense. Be sure to check out the WBB socials on screen. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.